I'm Mr. Kuchma, and I'm going to be your grad advisor for this 2019-22 school year. Some of you will recognize me from last year because I was your grad advisor. But to many of you, I'll be new, and I look forward to getting to know you over this school year. Join me as we drop in to another school year.
He did say he was glad to see us then, but Gandalf, I cried, where have you been? And have you seen others? Wherever I've been, I am back, he answered, and the genuine Gandalf murdered. Yes, I have seen so much. Oh, hey! Nice to see you guys again. I'm back from Silver Star, and just reading one of my favorites. And I mentioned that I wanted to get to know you guys a little bit over the school year, and that's very true. But I thought I'd start with letting you guys, getting to know me a little bit. So I like reading, I really like mountain biking, and you're going to find out a whole lot about Mr. Kuchma in this video. So for starters, I live in Kelowna, BC, and let's get started.
So I graduated from Heritage Christian School, the campus school in Kelowna, and I was in the same class as Kristen Cassavant since grade 4, and I started liking her in high school, which is where you guys are at, in grade 10, and then we got married. Shortly after high school, we actually got married at the ripe age of 18, and greatest decision ever. And we now have 3 lovely little kiddos. I wasn't joking when I said I liked reading. I've got many, many, many books. This author's my favorite, Ted Dekker. You can tell that I've got almost 2 entire shelves dedicated to him.
So I attended UBCO here in Kelowna after I graduated. Me and my wife went together, and I went into a Bachelor of Science. She went into a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And I was actually really passionate about wanting to become a doctor, but I had my whole mind switched when I went to Africa, and I was there leading a medical clinic. I was there for 3 weeks, and I was supposed to lead one each week. And when I arrived and set the first one up, I knew within the first 10 minutes of doing that medical clinic that I never wanted to be a doctor. So it was actually, I was very mad. I had a good talking with God because I had spent all this money to go there. And lo and behold, on our last day in Kitale, which is just a place in Kenya where our church sponsors an orphanage. We actually went to the orphanage's school, specifically to the high school, and with the other people in our group, there was only 2 guys on the trip. We followed the 2 guys in the orphanage in our high school to their classes. So we went to their Swahili class, we went to their geography class, and as they would have it, to their biology class. And their biology teacher was actually sick with malaria. So I had just taken 3 years of university level biology, and I was like, hey, what were you guys learning? And I ended up teaching cell biology for an hour to 30 Kenyans. And I was just so in my element. I loved it, and I totally switched my degree when I got back. I went into teaching, and I'm so happy that I made that change. Since then, I've taught in the sciences. I've also taught lots of math. So if you are taking some of your online math courses, they'll be with me. And if you take Life Science 11 or Anatomy and Physiology 12 online, I also teach those courses. So I'm excited to be your grad advisor. This is something that's been new to me. as of last year, and I really enjoy getting to help students navigate the sometimes rough waters of grade 10, 11, and 12, and hopefully that I can support you in seeing where do you want to go, and making all the correct steps to get there. So that's a little bit about me. I also really like hiking. I've gone on many hiking trips. Board games. I've got some really great friends, and I'm very nerdy. Yeah, I'm pretty nerdy. A little bit about my faith background. So I've been, a Christian most of my life, and I grew up in a Christian home, which is such a huge blessing, and I'm so glad that BC allows for Christian education. And I really started to take my faith seriously right actually in my high school. So when I got to grade 10, I tackled the questions of, why do I believe what I believe? And I had to make my personal decision to follow the Lord, and I wasn't going to do it just because my parents were going to do it. And that's when I, decided to really take things seriously. I ended up reading all of the New Testament that school year. I think it was actually like in 2 months, or the entire New Testament, and then I ended up reading the whole Bible after that, and I'm really excited to be able to, be there, as now I have my own children, and to, teach them, about God, and to raise them up and be able to give them a Christian education. That's something that's super valuable to me, and I'm excited that I get to help other families do this themselves. So my life verse, the verse that really I have integrated into my identity, that I would say is an integral part of who I am, is Romans 12:21. It's actually from one of my favorite chapters. It's the very last verse in the chapter, and it says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And that's just a verse that I have felt I needed to embody. So I'm always trying to, overcome evil with good in my life. My favorite book of the Bible isn't actually Romans, it's James. It's my middle name, and it's my son's middle name as well, my firstborn. And I love James because it's just a really challenging book. I never read it and don't have homework, because it's a book written to the church, so it's written for Christians to read, and it really challenges you to, to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. And yeah, that's a lot about me. I really do hope that you've enjoyed getting to know me, and I look forward to being able to get to know you guys a little bit, and not just you students, but also you parents who are navigating the high school waters for maybe multiple of your children. And just know that I can always be reached. If you ever have questions, I'm always around to answer them, and I'd love to be able to meet you guys in person. One of the things that I'm really excited to be doing is running some in-person events this year. I'd love for you guys to come out to them. They're going to be all over the interior, but because I am in Kelowna, some of them are going to be more situated around the Okanagan, especially because I've got 3 little kids, 3 and under, at home. But here's to an amazing school year, and I look forward to being a guide along the way, just like good old Gandalf.